Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes. No signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife.
It's a pleasure catching up with you.
And you, man.
And man, just being here and having you with me, it's a great, great honor for me because I looked up to you, my man. I looked up to your physique. The first time I saw you was when I was about 21. It was in the NABA days when you won the Universe, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you were with Eduardo Kowak,
Yes.
Brian Buchanan, and I was like, I want to look like this guy. You know, and it was you, Francis Benfato, and of course Brian Buchanan, and you never knew that. You were one of the reasons I moved to England. I could have gone to France. And when I saw your physique, I was like, man, I gotta go to England. I wanna start my career in England. So tell us about yourself.
Right, okay. So it's from the time, you know, you've just described when I was competing in NABA. It's been a ride. As you know, I came up through the NABA ranks through the 80s. My ambition was always to win the Universe.
Of course, which you did.
And I did, yeah. One was, you know, it would have been great for me, but thank God, you know, I won 4 of them. I then decided enough was enough with the NABA organisation. I'd achieved what I wanted to achieve. I got out with no intention ever of competing again.
And how old were you at the time?
I was around my 30s at that time. So then it was like 2 years, I think, I'd not gone into a gym. I'd had no intention, I'd had enough, and I'd achieved what I wanted to. Got a phone call from Wayne D'Amelio, who was the pro director of the IFBB at that time in the 90s. So then I thought, okay, right. It all sounded very nice. So I decided, okay, I'll give it a shot. I will say that the early, for those who saw me when I came back to compete, it was not the best start, right? As you probably saw at that time. It wasn't the best start, but then I thought, look, hey, you know, it is what it is. Do it, you know. And when I say it wasn't the best start, I didn't even, in my view, resemble a bodybuilder. So I was still on stage with these guys that just come from the Olympia.
Which is at the time was Flex Wheeler, Kivalavoni, was it?
All those guys,
yeah.
right? And I'm like thinking, why am I here?
Right.
And you know, and I remember being backstage and thinking, Jesus, when I'm announced, right, the guys who knew me from my NABA days are going to be shocked. When I walk out there, they are just going to, it'd be deadly silence.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what's this guy doing on the stage? You know, he shouldn't even be there.
Right.
And I'm like, oh God. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm telling myself, getting my head round this complete disaster in my mind. Anyway, everyone's announced a rapturous applause. My name's called. Applause. I've walked out. And it sort of slowly goes on, and I could feel everyone going, what are you doing, Charlie? Right? So I'm thinking, Anyway, as the competition is going on, I'm trying to hide behind these guys on the lineup. Anyway.
What was the call out? The call out?
You know how it goes, right? You've been there, you've done it. The initial call-outs are always the ones that are in the running for the top spots.
Right.
Hence, I ain't gonna get called out on that, and I didn't get called out. So I'm like stood there thinking, oh,
what am I doing here, right?
Why am I doing here? I think this is a bad mistake. Right. But that said, you know, I'm thinking, right, if I'm still here next year, things are going to be better. And thankfully they were. You know, so I'm fast forwarding now to the following year.
The following, so you came back with a vengeance. That gave you a chance to really find out what was the scoop.
Yeah.
You came back, and it's like, man, payback time, right?
Yeah. But it's like, right now, I need to do something and redeem myself. And fortunately, it started to happen.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, as you know,
So he beat Flex Wheeler and Kevin LeBron,
Yep.
and that was freaking sign up payback time. And this is where Charlie really came through, and the Americans started paying attention to his physique. And this is what bodybuilding is all about. It's like, you look at the guy, it's a tight stomach, freaking tight waist, flat abs, freaking wide shoulders, flary freaking legs, and this is why he beat them, and you earn the respect from everybody. Obviously, you want to do in the Olympia.
Yes.
And the first Olympia you did, you came, I think, in the top 6. Was it top 10?
No, I was in the top 10. I came in 7th.
Seventh, yeah.
It was when Louis did the Olympia.
Yeah. Lou Ferrigno, yeah.
And I think
Dorian won, right?
Yeah, Dorian was there. Yeah,
It was the
he got
92
it.
Olympia, right? You did the 92?
93. Yeah.
The 93 lineup was freaking huge. This is where Dorian came in and shocked everybody.
Yeah.
And this is why we freaking hate you for doing Dorian, for doing this if you're watching this. Because Dorian came in, we freaking hated you for that.
Yeah.
Because it changed bodybuilding. It really changed bodybuilding. Dorian was just freaky, but the kind of freakiness that we still had a freaking physique, because his condition was amazing. We couldn't fault him in any way, and freaking he set the standard for us to follow, and he changed all bodybuilding. Anyway, so we're gonna come through now and do a lot of freaking great things, which is Charlie's gonna show us his top 6 exercises that changed his physique. We're going to start with the chest and why he trained his chest the way he trained it.